All right, today is the day, and you may have noticed that this video is a little different already in the fact that it is showing up here on a Tuesday rather than a Thursday, because today we are going to introduce you to another project that I'm going to be starting here on BuilderCreator channel. Now, a lot of people have asked me if I'm going to build the Arete into a production car or sell parts for it, kits for it, whatever it is. And the answer to that is probably not. At least trying to break into the exotic, the supercar world would be so difficult, and it would take way more money than we want to invest into this project. You've seen how much time and effort is taken just to get the rough prototype, but to take that onto a production standard would take even more time. And as I'm not totally interested in doing that, I'm not totally interested in hiring employees and the things it would take to accomplish that. So what are we going to do with that? Well, we will see what it ultimately becomes of the Arete beyond the prototype here. But there is something I do know has a greater market and is of great interest to me in maybe pursuing it more along the lines of turning it into a production. Now, if you remember back in a previous video where I introduced and showed you some of the projects I've worked on in my past, I showed you a picture of an off-road vehicle that I built and how that led into me buying a Unimog and thinking that one day I might build a camper based upon the Unimog, or at least some kind of off-road four-wheel drive, or what we would call nowadays as overlanding camper. I have a great interest in this, as you can see, because of that original vehicle that I had kind of started working on that design for. And if you're familiar with the world and how it is right now, there are a lot of people interested in moving and living in their vans, motorhomes, or trailers, and working remotely, or just being of the adventurous type and going out and kind of seeing the world from their vehicle. So I've come to the conclusion that beyond myself, other people are interested in this thing, and so that kind of creates more of a market, at least in the aspect of trying to take a project that I might do and work in the direction of making it into a product rather than just building a vehicle for myself once again. This also gives you the added safety of once you get that prototype or that finished vehicle done, even if you were seeking to take it to production and you decide not to, at least you have the vehicle for yourself and you can go out and enjoy it as it is. But from that original render, things have changed quite a bit. I have changed the design of this thing quite a bit over the years as I've been thinking or contemplating building one. But it has always come from that kind of cab forward design of pushing the driving compartment forward so you have more room back over the wheels for living area. A lot of my designs that I worked on ended up kind of looking like airport crash trucks, if you're familiar with those, the heavy-duty off-road vehicles that they use for running down the airport and saving people as planes burst into flames on a crash landing. Well, anyway, that idea had stuck and was kind of ingrained into my mind until I came across some concept art by David Levy, who did some work for a movie called Prometheus. David designed some vehicles for that movie that have become known as the Prometheus rovers. They actually built some of these vehicles based on Tetris, Czechoslovakian 8-wheel drive vehicles, and used those in the movie. Anyway, I was able to get hold of David and talk to him about the use of this idea. That really helped inspire me to move in this new direction was that I had been focused on this idea of this boxy, very rugged utilitarian vehicle. And when I saw David's design for these Prometheus rovers, I saw the chance to move my design in a direction that I had to go, because my design, I wanted to be amphibious and to be able to create that kind of bow structure in the front to push water out of the way. The old box-like structure of the airport crash truck just was not going to work. And so when I saw David's design, I thought that is certainly gave me a great opening into going in that direction. And so you'll see somewhat in the design the door features that David used in his Prometheus rovers. Anyway, not completely exactly like his rovers, but definitely I have borrowed some of his design features to bring that design forward, like I said, in the direction I needed to go to accomplish some of my design goals. Well, I guess by now you're probably interested to know what this Prometheus rovers, what our design looks like, and what some of the other vehicles that kind of base the lineage of this whole idea come from. Maybe if some of you are a little older, you may remember a movie called Damnation Alley, and they had a vehicle in that called the Landmaster. Or maybe you remember an older TV series called Ark 2, where they had a vehicle called the Ark. Anyway, this is kind of the same genealogy. So let's go take a look at the design of our vehicle. It is going to be called the Leviathan. As it is amphibious, it should be an appropriate name, being it is a water creature. Anyway, let's go take a look at the design. So this is the CAD layout here in AutoCAD that I just go through and take my original design or sketches or the things that I've created, and I put them in here to actually check my dimensions to make sure that things will actually work in the real world. Kind of brings your model that's in your head into a little bit of spatial reality to check and see that a person, the 6-foot person standing upright, will not be bumping their head or things like that. So I just go ahead and lay these things out, just like I said, check the dimensions in AutoCAD. And now I've taken this over and created this clay model. Now I will be taking and showing you a complete video one time of making this clay model. In case anybody out there wants to go through the process, this will be a video showing you all the stages of producing a clay model. But I just did this clay model to just kind of check some of my design ideas, go through, make sure things were working the way I thought they would. And once you're in the clay, you can also kind of make changes on the fly, kind of that tactic feel and see how things feel. Stand back, look at an angle, stand above it, stand below it, stand to the side. You can move around much easier than you can in a 3D model. I suppose one day they will have virtual reality and 3D modeling where it will be more realistic being there, but this truly is a way to get a real feel of what it's going to be like. Now you also may remember that a month or two back, one of the followers here of the channel goes by the name of UnityFan, also has a YouTube channel, and he does a lot of 3D modeling, and especially in automobiles. And UnityFan, he took the design from the Arete and just pulled pictures of the car off of the internet from my just found files, the pictures from my videos, and did a rendering and sent that to me. And I thought it was pretty interesting that he was willing to spend the time to do that. And so I thought, hey, why not we do another little collaboration with him? And he has taken the time to build us a real 3D model of the Leviathan. And I'm going to let you watch him build that in 3D right now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching that little video of Unity Fan building us a 3D model of the Leviathan. Anyway, I also put a link down in the description so you can go see his channel, and he has a lot of videos that he will be posting about building the model of that in more detail. Especially if you're into 3D modeling, you can go see his technique and how he works in his programs. Now this video is posting here on the 26th of January 2021. I am kind of opening this whole project, and I am going to be showing you every step of the way in this thing. It's going to be kind of completely open. In fact, I'm going to I will be showing you the receipts for things that I purchased for the project, kind of keeping track of our time to show you how long it takes to do things. And also I am asking you for help. Now, it being the 26th of January here in the year 21, I want to make sure that people seeing this video later on don't keep following this, but I actually want you to help me for 1 month from this date. Any input you have, ideas you have, or things you think would be great to incorporate into a project like this, I'm open to suggestions right now. After that month, I will probably quit answering comments of people that are still trying to apply changes, because hopefully we'll be beyond being able to make those changes. Anyway, if you have suggestions, ideas, things you think would be great involved in this project, put them in the comments. I'll be glad to look at those and take your suggestions. As I said, I am planning to take this thing on through to production. If anything changes, well, it will change. But right now we're going to plan to build this as a kit. It will be built, this first version, on a Chevy 2500 Silverado truck chassis. The kit will be made to fit on almost any vehicle of the same wheelbase, and maybe even adapted to longer wheelbases with some changes in the molds later on, and some other components that you'll be able to buy. Anyway, like I said, a kit that you can buy a basic version and do the work yourself on it through close to turnkey, but not quite. That is the plan at this point. Like I said, I'm up to suggestions for all kinds of things as we start this project off, and hope you enjoy it as much as you have the arete. And I know it may bring in another group of people that are interested in that off-roading world, overlanding, and that kind of camping lifestyle, living off the grid. Anyway, thanks for stopping by today. Come back and see us again as we get going on this project.